Welcome back to the second game of the day. Here, let me set my name to my stream. So in this pack, this game is just EIKWF, by the way, no G4 or G5. In this pack, Wealthiest European is very strong. Bricklayer is strong. One thing I'm looking at in this pack is playing Wealthiest European and wheeling Powerhouse. Just take, say, 5 stone off of the Wealthiest European, and then playing Powerhouse after that, and immediately getting all the stone I want. Basically setting up my feeding engine. I am a fan of Wealthiest European in general. I like being able to play Ox late game and focus on not playing Ox early game. It can be a bit complicated if somebody else doesn't really want to play Ox. You can get put in bad positions where you have to take 2 clay with your first action in round 1. But generally, I think the upside is high enough, especially when we have such a clear path with wheeling Powerhouse here. Village Fool would also be a fine wheel, by the way, with Wealthiest European, because we can also just not play all of our Ox and discard a good number to Village Fool. So in this pack, there's a lot of strong cards. Remodeler and Country Doctor are both interesting because they're somewhat late game, which is good with Wealthiest European. Harvester being in the draft makes me want to take Country Doctor because I want to be able to set up for the Harvester points. And so Country Doctor lets me play towards the Harvester. So I think I'm going to take that. Country Doctor also just might be the strongest card in this pack. It's a very strong card. Tapestry Weaver, Remodeler, and Harvester are the best cards left in this pack. Wood Gatherers is playable, and Prosecutor is playable, but not nearly as good as these 3. So any of those I'd be happy to wheel. So in this pack, Harvest Helper is interesting because, so with Harvester in the game, Harvest Helper can actually mess with Harvester points, because I don't believe Harvest Helper counts as harvesting a resource. So if, say, in the last round, I take a grain off of somebody's grain field, they might not be able to get the Harvester points, which is very interesting. I also think it's the best card in this pack for us, considering we're going to be going for late game Ox. Stonebuyer is another card that could work with the Powerhouse, but Iris Helper, I think, is clearly the pick here. One good thing about this Country Doctor setup is, with Wealthiest European, having something to do that you want to do early other than playing Ox is nice, so I can just plow fields early if I'm not getting good piles of resources to set up for my Country Doctor. One thing to keep in mind when we get to minors in this draft is Wealthiest European makes minors that don't have an occupation requirement much stronger, because you want to be able to take starting players sometimes in these early rounds, and you obviously can't afford to play your Ox out in order to get those minors up. So cards like, House Scope pops off my mind, but obviously even weaker cards that don't have an Ock requirement or go way up in value. So I've never really sat down and looked at what exactly is in the G4 and 5 decks and considered what having them and not having them adds to the game. I think there's a good amount of plows in the G4 and 5 decks, and there's way less in EIK, WF, so I should be on the lookout for plows in the future. Interesting. I believe Permaculturist works with Country Doctor, which is something to think about. Permaculturist could allow some pretty silly stuff. It also basically makes it impossible to not get harvester points. Yeah, I'm not super interested in Pieceworker because Pieceworker you want to be able to play early, but I guess I could use Pieceworker just to piecework grain and veggies at the very least. Yeah, I think I want to be plowing early with Wealthiest European. My other actions won't be incredible, so I don't think I want Permaculturist. Borrower is always worth considering, it can bail you out of some really bad situations. Humble Farm Boy is interesting because we might be able to get Humble Farm Boy points with Wealthiest European, but we're not going to be able to play it early enough to get the 4 wood. So I'm not going to take it, but considering it when I'm playing cards, it might allow us to get the points, which is important. I'm just going to take Pieceworker here. Being able to piecework grain and veggies is interesting. Powerhouse wheeled, so we'll do that. Village Fool didn't wheel. I don't remember the other cards that didn't wheel, but Powerhouse was what we wanted and we got it, which is great. Prosecutor is somewhat interesting, given that we're playing a Wealthiest European game. We might not be playing a lot of minors early, but I think Tapestry Weaver is just significantly better. Tapestry Weaver is a great card. I don't know exactly how Country Doctor works. I'm going to look up the compendium. Does this work? Whatever. Oh. I'm not taking Forster here. I shouldn't really even be looking at that. I'm just taking Tapestry Weaver. So looking up that ruling is stupid. Yeah, none of these are super interesting. Wood Buyer is the most potentially playable, but I don't plan on playing it at all. All right. So Homework is a slam dunk pick with Wealthiest European. Because we want to be taking things like To Read over playing Ox anyways, and then Later, we can start player, maybe even go wealthiest European powerhouse on the same action. Homework is just an extremely excellent card. Steel Plow is crazy strong, especially with Country Doctor. But given we want Country Doctor up relatively early and you need 3 Ox to even play the Steel Plow, I think Homework is going to be a better card for us. Threshing Machine Plow is very much worth considering on the wheel if it comes back to us, because it gives us exactly 3 fields for Country Doctor, and you don't need Ox to play it, which is great for us. In this pack, so there's another Plow, which means there's going to be a good amount of plowing in this game. There were 2 plows in our opening pack and another plow here. That makes me less interested in this plow, especially since it has an occupation requirement. Manger can be strong, but with Harvester in the game, it's not very interesting. I'm a big fan of Honeymoon. I find giving up 2 food and 2 actions for 5 points is excellent. It significantly raises your point cap. I think Honeymoon is an excellent, underrated card, and I end up playing it a lot more than other people, I think. It's very hard for your last 2 actions in round 14 to be worth 5 points. A lot of the time you're struggling to even get 2-point actions with those actions in round 14. And so, like, if you're taking 1-point actions with your last 2 actions in round 14, Honeymoon is easily worth it because it's netting you, like, 3 points for 2 food. But even if you're using them for, like, 2 2-point actions, it can still sometimes be worth it. You're spending 2 food for 1 point, essentially. So I just think Honeymoon is an excellent, excellent card. In this pack, we're not interested in Apple Tree, given it conflicts with Harvester. Cash Crop, I think, is the best card in this pack, and is probably what I'll be taking. I am a fan of Attic, but I think Cash Crop is just better. Even though Attic, you don't need a Ock to play, and Cash Crop you do. Cash Crop is just so much stronger, especially considering, given Country Doctor, we're probably only building 1 room this game. So Attic is 1 point at the most. Attic becomes really interesting when you're building multiple rooms, but just 1 room is not very good. Wow, that is a very late Clay Roof. Acreage is very, very interesting. Yeah, I mean, normally I would think about Acreage. I believe Acreage works with Country Doctor. I would actually have to look that ruling up, but I think Clay Roof is just too strong to not take here. Especially given we want to be spending Read on Homework. A free point, and possibly, I don't know. Yeah, I can't imagine not taking Clay Roof here. It's just by far the best card here. Alright, so both plows got taken, so we're going to need to be plowing pretty aggressively. Maybe the turn rest plow comes back, maybe not. Backyard Well is interesting when we're going to be powerhousing a ton of food and, we're going to be wealthiest European, a ton of stone, and pieceworking, getting us stone. But Horse is a very strong card, and I don't think we're necessarily going to be fencing super early. We might fence mid-game with Tapestry Weaver, but yeah, Horse is just excellent, and importantly, it can be played with no Ox. So if we get in a position where we really want to start player, we can play Horse. So I think I'll take Horse here. Horse is just very strong. So we did see Humble Farm Boy, and Horse isn't great with that. Somebody might be doing Village Fool and Humble Farm Boy. In which case we might just not get those points. We're not playing a lot of Ox. We'll play Wealthiest European, Powerhouse. We'll probably play Country Doctor and Harvest Helper, but beyond that, I'm not sure. I really want to take Goblet here because I think it's the best card. The only concern is playing Goblet in a game with Humble Farm Boy is a bit sketchy. But I don't really think we want Cooking Hearth. I'm not a fan of Cooking Hearth in general. And so even if we're not playing it, I think playing Goblet is probably worth it. So given we didn't get a Plow and Harvester isn't in the game, I don't think we can justify taking Apple Tree ever. So the choice is between Basket and Attic. That's a hard one. I guess it's theoretically possible that we build 2 rooms with Clay Roof, but yeah, I don't know. I guess the question is, do we ever use Basket? And we could with Peace Worker. Basket becomes pretty interesting with Peace Worker. But it's a lot. I don't know. I don't think I've ever played Basket without, like, Woodcart. I guess we don't have a ton of feeding this game. We have Powerhouse, but nothing else. I'll try Basket. I don't think we're going to be playing Attic this game. Yeah, I'll try the Basket. So we go first, which is excellent. We can take Restone Food here. I'll probably take two wood on the wheel. I mean, I could start player Basket, but I think that's a bit absurd. The question is, am I going to build the fireplace? I think the answer is probably no, honestly. Oh, there goes Tile Maker. So yeah, we're definitely not taking 2 clay here. Yeah, so the options are start player with Basket or 2 wood. I guess the other option is I could plow. Getting plows out now might be okay, but there's 3 plows in this game, so there's really not going to be a ton of pressure on plow. Art director for Mercator, going to be taking traveling players a lot. So, do I want to play Basket? And do I want to play it this early? I think the answer is just no. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take 2 wood. I guess I have to think about how I'm feeding. This first harvest, traveling players is going to be taken a lot. I don't know. I'll try it. No, I think I want to save Basket for the opportunity to start player into 4 wood, because then taking 2 wood off the space, leaving 2 wood, and getting 3 food is the ideal. And then if we maintain start player, we can do it again. Interesting that WSC Frank is playing Fireplace instead of Cooking Hearth, leaving himself 2 clay. I'm curious why that is. Maybe he has the Cooking Hearth miner, maybe he needs 2 clay for something else, but who knows. Hopefully we maintain starting and we can take Reedstone food. Setting up for our homework. Mercator taking food. I assume taking either a reed or a stone. Looks like reed. Interesting. Adding reed to the game. With clay roof and this adding reed to the game, it looks like there will be a lot of reed. So it's very possible we'll want to build 2 rooms this game. Alright, we maintain starting player, so I will definitely just take Reedstone food again. William taking 2 reed, so our pipe dream of that coming back isn't happening, but we might get 3 wood back, which would be perfectly acceptable. 2 clay didn't get taken, which is a bit shocking. It makes sense because of this tile maker, but still a bit strange. I guess I could consider taking it with clay roof. 4 clay is a good amount of clay, but who knows. I think 3 wood is more valuable to us. Just try to put ourselves in the position to build the first room. Given we also got Reedstone food twice, we are in a position where we could do Goblet. Manual Labor from Goddess Girl, a fine card. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it can be successful. I assume Goddess Girl will probably take 2 wood with her second action. We're definitely just taking 3 wood here. The tile maker does unfortunately conflict with Powerhouse because we'll probably have a ton of stone in our supply at the end of the game, and so we'll probably want to run out of stone. It just seems like an efficient way to get points, but that's fine. You can't get every bonus in every game. Wow, 4 clay didn't get taken. People are gunning after wood hard. I have to imagine Goddess Girl is taking 4 clay here because it gives her an extra clay. So you really want to be taking some kind of building resource every round with manual labor. So it's something like start player isn't very good here. Yep, there goes the clay. I guess I'm just going to continue taking Reedstone food. It sets me up for the Goblet if I want. I'll have a lot of start player actions between Gobleting the well and homework at some point. Yeah, I'm just going to keep taking it. If 3 wood doesn't come back, which it is not looking like it will this game, considering how hard people are gunning for wood, I will either take 3 food or plow a field. Plowing a field seems somewhat interesting. Oh, I should check the compendium on what's it called? Country Doctor. So these are minors where Country Doctor. It just says the fields must be planted. I assume it works with what's it called? Cash crop miners that are fields. Oh wow, brushwood collector from Goddess Girl. Well, we wheeled 3 wood, so I will be taking it, but very interesting. Yeah, it makes sense what's going on with the manual labor, because brushwood collector means you're not interested in reedstone food at all, which is one of the main problems with manual labor. Manual labor means you can't take reedstone food basically ever. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bit weird. Nice. WSC Frank taking the food off traveling players, cutting food out of the game, and just blocks Mercator, which is funny, but I think that's perfectly defensible. It really makes life hard on Goddess Girl and Mercator. It's great for me, though, so I feel like I'm in a pretty dominant position, assuming Family Grow flips in round 5 or 6. Round 7, even round 7 we'll be fine with, because we have so many start player actions between Goblet and Well and Homework. This is really where drafting all these miners that we can play without occupations is paying off. Goddess Girl assumedly will take 2 wood here, set herself up to build a room. I guess I'll have to decide whether I build a room with my first action. I don't think I will. I think it's going to be difficult for Goddess Girl to I mean, Goddess Girl can build with her first action, but if Goddess Girl is set up to Family Grow first, that's fine by us. Like, it really doesn't matter, because that means we grow second in most scenarios. It's when the person after you is set up to Family Grow first that it becomes a huge problem. So, like, WSD Frank is set up to grow here, so if Goddess Girl builds a room, we might have to start player, but that's okay. Because, again, we just have so many actions, and Goddess Girl is really struggling to feed, so I'm interested to see what she'll do. Yeah, if Goddess Girl builds a room here, I think I'll start player just to set myself up to get the grow after her and possibly before her, because she'll have to start player in round 5 if Family Grow doesn't flip. So the decision I could have made was I could have built a room first and hoped to wheel Reedstone food, but I don't think that Reedstone food wheeled. I think both Mercator and even Goddess Girl would take it, because Goddess Girl needs a food action, and Reedstone food is better than day labor for her. And Mercator, obviously, Reedstone food is good for him. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a pretty dominant position this game between my mid and late game setup with Wealthiest European Powerhouse and Country Doctor in my late game points in Honeymoon, significantly upping my point ceiling, along with Cash Crop. The fact that I'll buy the well, my point ceiling is very high. So I feel like I'm in a very good position this game. Gosh Girl does build a roam. Yeah, I'll start player. I want to guarantee myself the next room, but no matter what, we're fine. Yeah, I mean, so when games play out like this and you get start player and then nobody takes start player a single time, it's just, you're in such a dominant position. Especially when I was already planning on playing a wealthiest European game, and taking Reedstone Food a bunch is just excellent for me. Yeah, played out very nicely. Mercator, interestingly, taking 2 Reed over over veggie Reed food. Humble Farm Boy did come out, so keeping that in mind is going to be important. I might not end up playing Horse or Basket. Almost certainly not playing Basket this game. Between getting the well with the, what's it called, the goblet, and the powerhouse setup I'm doing, I should have tons of food. Family Grow did flip, which is good for Goddess Girl. So it would have been nice if we built a room last round, but it's perfectly acceptable to get second grow here. Yeah, Goddess Girl is benefiting in that they get the first family grow, but right now their feeding is extremely sketchy. I have no idea how they're planning on feeding. Actions to take if they come back. We will probably take, we'll definitely take 3 wood, given that that sets us up to build another room. Well, actually, once we build the well, it won't, but we could take 1 wood with wealthiest European if we wanted. I might take 5 clay because it sets us up for clay roof. Yeah, given our clay roof, I think 5 clay is the way to go if it comes back to us. Threshing machine plow from Mercator. Strong card. It gives you 3 plows at the cost of making your farm a little awkward. But good with Mercator. Good with Harvester. Acreage from Goddess Girl, also good with Harvester. Yeah, I think in terms... So there's going to be a lot of competition initially for the family grow, where I don't think we're going to be able to jump in just by taking 3 wood. So I think I want to take the 5 clay. Master Stableman from WSC Frank, gonna allow him a nice sheep grab. But Goddess Girl might build a cooking hearth here, which would be a bit of a disaster. Yeah, I think WSC Frank realizes that. Yep. Yeah, I think if so hopefully Mercator. Sorry, what I was saying was I think if WSC Frank doesn't take the sheep there, Goddess Girl will build the cooking hearth into taking the sheep. Wow, Mercator just allowing Goddess Girl to get this 6 wood is very interesting, but I think it's okay. Actually, Mercator might be trying to take this 6 wood to double build. Goddess Girl taking wood, very strange. I would have thought she would have taken it off of the 1 wood space. Maybe she's worried about feeding, and she thinks she'll have to focus on that, but yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I'm definitely going to build the well here. I might start player with my second action to play homework. It's interesting. The longer I wait, the more resources I get. But at the same time, getting it out early is... getting out the powerhouse early gives me a lot of food. So we start player with the well, or we family grow with the well. Food, 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 food. Food, food. Maybe for all. Yeah, if WSE Frank doesn't start player here, I'll consider start playing homework in order to get 6 wood, or at the very least 4 wood. So WSE Frank is going for a double build, which might work out for him. He might be able to get 2 grows in a row, but I'm going to try to cut in if I can. I also need to start thinking about plowing. Given I don't have a plow. I also need a food action at some point, so I'll have to figure out what I'm doing with that. I could consider building pottery or joinery, probably pottery, given that there seems to be a good amount of clay in this game. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's only right to snap the homework off here. Yeah, the starting player here also gives me the opportunity to get a 4 wood, which is nice. Yeah, so I'll have to think about my actions here. I think I'll take 6 clay if it comes to me over 4 wood, given I want to buy the pottery. So ideally the actions would be 6 clay, reedstone food, reno pottery. And then that gives me the opportunity to start player clay roof and build a room in round 8. I believe I'll have enough. Yeah, I'll have no, I won't have enough clay for that. I'll need more clay, so maybe not. I'll have to think about that. But I think 6 clay is more valuable than 4 wood when I have clay roof. And we might even wheel a 4 wood. Six fences from Goddess Girl, very interesting. Not allowing herself to build another room. And WSC Frank might even try to snipe the sheep because he's very aggressively cutting food this game. Interesting that if I first action traveling players, I don't believe Mercator has a way to feed other than day laboring and eating a veggie. Which is crazy. Yeah, food is a huge struggle in this game. I'm very glad to get this powerhouse out. I'm still going to take 6 clay, I think. It's just so much clay with clay roof. Yeah, I mean, Mercator might have to let WSE Frank grow in front of him here, because if he doesn't get those traveling players, he's going to be in a rough spot. Oh, okay, WSE Frank taking the sheep. Yeah, Goddess Girl in a very difficult position here. I'm really going to have to start thinking about plowing soon, given the harvester and my lack of plows. I need 4 plows in this game plus cash crop. I assume WSE Frank has the steel plow, and Goddess Girl has the turn rest plow, although Mercator might also have the turn rest plow. With Harvester, taking 2 plows isn't horrendous. Goddess Girl obviously taking one of the wood actions and collecting mushrooms, fine. Here, I just want to take Reedstone food to set up for a renovation pottery. There's a chance I get... Oh no, this 4 wood's also going to be taken by Goddess Girl, but interestingly, Mercator is set up to build another room already, which is great for him. WSC Frank playing an Hawk, interesting. I wonder if this is something like Cat Lover. Oh, Village Full. WSC Frank doing this, obviously, so that he can build 2 rooms in round 8, which guarantees him to grow in round 8 and 9, which is great for him. With our clay roof, this means we should be able to family grow, or we should be able to build a room, start player clay roof and to build a room in round 9 and get the grow in round 10. Mercator with Corn Scoop, another good card with Harvester. Mercator will absolutely be getting the Harvester points this game, I imagine. Yeah, it looks like there's not going to be a ton of wood in this game, given that, given the current situation. So I think I want to only build clay rooms in the future. So I'll still take 4 wood next round, but I don't. So the consideration would be I could major minor pottery here, and then 4 wood into start player clay roof and to build a room. But that puts me pretty far behind on wood in this game. I guess there's always the option I could play wood buyer if I think I have enough food, which I might. I'm actually considering that. So there's not a lot of food in this game, so I don't think wood buyer works, but I could still consider building building one more wood room. There's 6 fences already. Goddess Girl is set up to build a room, but let's see. So I have 11 clay, so pottery puts me to 9. The renovation would put me to 6. So and then eating one more puts me to 5. So it gives me enough for a clay room, but not enough for a clay room plus clay roof. I think I'm just gonna major minor the pottery, actually. I think I want the opportunity to build one more wood room if it comes to me. Oh wow, Goddess Girl building a room here. Interesting. That makes my plan significantly worse. I wish I renoed here, but worst case scenario, we can just reno clay roof now. Yeah, I mean, Goddess Girl is going to be great as far as family grows go, but she's going to really, really struggle for food. Yeah, I think it's unlikely I'll want to play wood buyer this game, given that I think I want to start plowing, actually. So did I download this? I'm not sure why it's not downloaded. I don't know. I'm not used to Firefox. So what do I want to do here? I think, yeah, I want to start plowing. WSA Frank will build here. I will probably reno with clay roof with my last action. I guess I could start playing piecework or two. Clogs for Mercator, fine points card. So piecework will be nice in that it will let me piecework grain and veggies. So I definitely want to play it at some point. I guess I have to keep in mind Master Stableman. I think I should just give up on Master Stableman. I don't think there's any chance I can get it. I think Tapestry Weaver probably won't work this game, given the pressure on animals. I could take 3 stone here. Maybe consider buying stone oven at some point, but I think I just want to get the renovation out of the way. So I definitely want to take 4 clay. I might take 4 stone, but who knows? Goddess Girl might take 4 stone in front of me. Mercator might take 4 stone for oven purposes. So I imagine William will start player. Oh wow, Loom in the game. Now this fencing makes more sense. Goddess Girl probably will have to take 2 sheep first action, although... yeah, I don't know what exactly will happen. Mercator plowing, I guess getting a sow down makes sense. Yeah, so if I really, really wanted to jump William here, I could start player with cash crop. Then play... Yeah, I think I actually will do that. I think I really want this family grow. Then take 4 wood and 4 clay and then build a room. Yeah, I think I am going to do that. It also allows me other things. I don't know. Should I do this? Very interesting. For stone floating this long is pretty wild, even with the well gone. I think Mercator wants to build an oven. Wow, WSA Frank tossing turn rest pal. Yeah, I think I have such a high point cap that I just want to get my family grow out. I'll play cash crop. Did I take my food? Mercator, traveling players, sure. Assume setting up for a huge sell. Yeah, now that I've taken starting player, I'm super committed to doing this. I'll take it off this spot. I guess Goddess Girl could theoretically build a room here, but she needs food. Corey from WSC Frank, not great in this game considering considering 4 stone is floating for literally forever. Corey isn't going to be incredible, I don't think. Yeah, I'm very surprised that William tossed turn rest plow with Harvester in the game. Here we build a room. No stables. Eat a clay. Yeah, given I'm going to play Peaceworker, I think eating clay is definitely correct. Yeah, so I'll family grow first action, but I'll definitely plow if it comes back to me. If plow doesn't come back to me, who knows? Near the stone. Finally goes. Here, family grow, play horse. Yeah, so plow is my number 1 priority if it gets back to me. If not, taking wood is fine. Taking clay is fine. It could set me up to build a 5th room, possibly. There's really no pressure on clay in this game. As possible, the ideal would be to play Peaceworker and then Piecework clay, and then I could build another room. But who knows? Oh, there goes the clay. Looks like Mercator is interested in renoing to clay, and maybe buying an oven as well. Hopefully we wield the plow. If not, I'll just play Peaceworker and probably take 2 vegetables, maybe 2 grain. Probably 2 grain, because I want to sow on cash crop. Goddess Girl probably has to keep taking wood, given that's the way that she's feeding. she might build a room here, I guess. But yeah, just taking wood. Yeah, so there's a ton of pressure on wood. I'm very glad I didn't build another wood room. That would have been a bit of a train wreck. I'll plow here. And that gives me the most options. And then I'll probably play Pieceworker third action. Next round, I can take 2 grain, take 2 veggies, and sell. I also want to play Harvest Helper at some point. Maybe I'll play Harvest Helper next round. I can't grow with Country Doctor until round 12 anyways, so I might as well just play it in round 12. I guess I could consider not playing Pieceworker at all. I imagine Goddess Girl will take 4 read if it gets back to her just to build the basket makers. Yeah, I don't know. Once our well food runs out, we're gonna start struggling for feeding. I might need to figure out something beyond that. Maybe I'll build an oven. Have to imagine Goddess Girl takes the 4 read here. Renovating, very interesting. What improvement is she buying? An oven doesn't do her any good. Joinery, I don't think is good in this game. She needs. I mean, joinery is fine because she's encouraged to keep. Brazier. Fine. It interferes with Loom a little bit, but she could take a cow for 4 food, for example. So she's probably okay. Yeah, I mean, at this point, my strategy is just going to be getting up Country Doctor. I think no matter what, it's worth playing Pieceworker just for wood. Although, like I said, I'm going to be struggling to feed once my well food runs out. So I never actually took this food. I guess this is the moment of truth. I could play Harvest Helper here, or I can play Pieceworker. Which one is better? I think I need Pieceworker no matter what. So we'll do that. I can probably buy a Cooking Hearth this game. I've completely given up on Humble Farm Boy points. No point in competing for those at all. I think my priorities next round will be 4 wood first, plow second if it comes back to me. And then we'll have to see beyond that. I want to take vegetables at some point. I want to play Harvest Helper at some point. Oh, there goes 2 wood, so looks like we will not get a 4 wood. I might have to take 3 wood with my first action. Wood is in very, very, very high demand. William's going to be able to take 2 cows and build 2 stables, which is excellent for him. Actually, Goddess Girl might take a cow here. It's a 4 food action. Fencing more, interesting. So I guess what's going on, I forgot. William has Steel Plow, so he discarded the turn rest plow because he's using Steel Plow anyways, so he just took 2 plows just to hate one, which is reasonable. Yeah, with how much wood is in demand, especially with William needing to play a Steel Plow, I definitely will be taking 3 wood first action here. Oh, Goddess Girl taking start player. Hopefully this means she's grabbing 2 cows and not taking 3 wood. I guess we can only wait and see. Yep, she's taking the cows. Makes sense. I imagine she's going to be braziering a sheep, but who knows? Here we definitely take 3 wood and piece it. Oh. So we take the wood minus. Again, if plow comes back, we'll definitely take it. If not, we'll probably be looking at vegetable, maybe vegetable. And what's it called? Harvest helper set up first. So all right, plow doesn't come back. I might not play Harvest Helper this game. So it's convenient in that it can mess with the it can mess with Harvester, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I would really like to sow the cash crop this round. Is that the reason? So ideally oh, there goes vegetable. So I guess that's not happening. Oh no, I guess sowing next round is better. So here I think we could consider buying the basket makers. So we can go like 5 reed. Yeah, I don't know. Taking the 5 reed basically locks us into being able to buy the basket makers at some point this game. So that's probably right. And I might as well piece a reed. William quarries, but he's still not threatening Greystone food, which is fine. I assume Clay Oven is coming out here from Mercator. Yep. I think I'll play Harvest Helper here. And then maybe Reedstone Food last action. I guess I can just consider not playing Country Doctor this game. I can start player and just take Family Grow without room. But I think I'd rather have Plowsow anyways, so playing Country Doctor is probably worth it. So we only need 15 wood total this game. I don't think we're interested in buying joinery. Yeah, and we do want to fence 6 spaces, I think. So yeah, we will. Here we'll play Harvest Helper, I guess. So let me make sure Harvest is. Yeah, so Harvest Helper does not count as harvesting and good, I believe. Let me make sure. Yeah, so nothing on here leads me to believe that it is a harvest, so I think it can interrupt the harvester, which might be good for us. Milking Shed from WSE Frank, giving him an influx in food, makes sense with Quarry and the tile maker that he doesn't want to go to stone, so this is a good way to spend your stone. Mercator start playing with nothing. Interesting. So here I have the decision. I'm definitely taking Reedstone food here. I have the decision of either of whether I want to take another stone or not. I suppose I just always want to take another stone. The other option is I could major minor basket makers here. So major minoring basket makers gives me 1 less food from Powerhouse next round, but it allows me to convert a reed into 3 food. So it essentially is allowing me to convert a reed into 2 food, which I think is worth it, considering the current situation in this game for food, where we want a lot of it with Peace Worker. Oh, so Harvest Helper happened after the field phase, so it'll be difficult to interrupt Mercator's Harvester, actually. I think I'm gonna major minor the BMW here. Yeah, so given that Harvest Helper actually probably won't disrupt the Harvester, I think it was probably a mistake to play it. I think it was better to just take 2 grain with Peace Worker, but maybe not. Looks like Plowsow flipped, which is fine. I'll definitely plow again if it comes to us. Goddess Girl will probably be plowing here though, because she really needs it. Yeah, I'll have to see. If Goddess Girl plows, I guess I'll take 2 veggies so I can sow and play Country Doctor. Forgot to eat my clay. Yeah, I have to imagine Goddess Girl is plowing here. William will start player with Steel Plow, which is unfortunate, but nothing we can do about it. Yeah, I don't actually think we're getting at Harvester points unless we start player here into Plowsow. So maybe we have to start player here into Plowsow. And then re-up start player in round... in round 13. Well, Goddess Girl might start player for us. But, this is interesting. Maybe I have to give up on Harvester. I think that's the case. Here we piecework vegetables. I have to imagine William is starting player with the plow here. Maybe it'll take 6 clay to guarantee his reno. Oh, 3 wood, wow. I guess wood is in high demand. I guess I have to determine who I'm competing with here. I think I'm easily beating Goddess Girl and probably beating Mercator. I don't know. I feel like I'm in just such a good position this game. Yeah, I want a Country Doctor this round, so I guess my actions are just to sow into Ock Country Doctor, into Family Grow with Honeymoon. Liquid Manure from Goddess Girl coming out. So I was going to say I should just Ock first and then sow second, but with this Liquid Manure, Goddess Girl might actually sow a single veggie to block me. So here we go. So on Cash Crop, So a veggie. I'll probably reno fence in 14. Given I have horse, I don't really need to get animal grabs anytime soon. All the wood's getting gobbled up, which is a bit annoying, but we should be fine with just a wood grab or two next round. We are getting a little bit sketchy in terms of food, but that's okay. I guess I could also consider buying the stone oven, given that I'll have harvest helper grain coming. We'll have to see. Hopefully Goddess Girl Star plays here. That would be ideal for us. Feeding is a bit suspect right now, actually. So we have 5 food from Pottery and BMW. We'll have 1 food from Powerhouse. So we do need a food action as well. Goddess Girl fencing the last 3 fences. I imagine she's hoping to get Boar come back to her. We're certainly just going to play Country Doctor here. There goes the 6 clay, not a surprise at all. William really needed it, but wasn't anything we could do about that. I guess the other thing is I do not have to renovate this game. I can just take clay and then buy the stone oven. So renovating's probably worth it. It's a 2-point action for free because I'm going to be fencing anyways. So like taking 4 stone is a 2-point action, even if I am buying the stone oven. But it's something to think about. Here at Family Grow, I will play Honeymoon. I think it will be worth it. Although the feeding is a bit sketchy. I think it's worth it. It looks like there might not be a steel plow coming out. Or if there is, William just was waiting on it. Maybe he wants to play it in round 14, but I don't know. Interesting. Day labor. So either William's going to start player next round with the steel plow to get Plowso in 14, or no, he has to have the steel plow, I think. I don't think there's any way he doesn't. Mercator will family grow without room. Goddess Girl will Plowso, so I can plow and still leave myself the opportunity to get Harvester if I start player into Plowso. But again, I imagine that William will be start playing here. I still will plow just because giving myself the option is nice, and it denies William the hope of ever getting Harvester points unless he has some card that I can't think of. Alright, so there's the steel plow, so he does have it, but that's okay. So I think my actions here will be 3 clay, take a grain, and stone oven, baking the grain. And then my last action will probably be stone. Maybe I should stone here just to make sure I get it. Fencing is going to be a bit awkward in this game. I'm also surprised by the way Goddess Girl fenced. This makes me think maybe there's like a constable or something, but nobody at all is set up for constable. Alright, Goddess Girl taking a grain. That nixes my idea of taking grain into building oven, so I'll have to build an oven next turn. I can always wheel a what's it called? F4 food. So I'll make sure I get this wood grab because it's a lot of points. Going from 9 to 12 is a ton of points. Notably, I'm going to fence extremely big, so Manger actually would have been decent for me this game. I didn't even realize the cows were still there, wow. Mercator will probably either fence or take stone to guarantee a Reno fence. Who knows which one. Alright, fencing, which means I definitely need to take stone for my Reno fence. So I need to take clay here, I need to take stone and take 4 food, I think are my actions. Oh, there goes 1 food, I'll definitely take the other. So my actions next round, I'll have 3 actions. 1 will be a fence action, 1 will be a renovate action. So either I'll be Reno fence and major stone oven, or I will fence and Reno major stone oven. Oh, actually, William can build the stone oven. That's a problem. He's probably going to Reno major the stone oven here. Here I have to take clay. That's interesting. That means I can take an animal with one of my actions, I guess. Yeah, I have to imagine this action is going to be Renovation Stone Oven. Well, no, if William Stone Oven's here, he can get blocked on Reno Fence. Oh, he's buying Fireplace. That's great for me. That means I can definitely get the Stone Oven. So I take 4 stone here. I feed a reed into clay and 5 food. Next round I get food. Help Mercator. Turn this into a point. Get a grain. Harvest these. And end turn. Yeah, so my 3 actions will be Stone Oven, Reno Fence, and take an animal, probably. William Plowsows. Where did... Oh, William upgraded his fireplace to a cooking hearth. In that case, I have to first action Stone Oven. I guess the question is, do I Major Minor and hope to Reno Fence, or do I just let William Reno Fence on me? The problem is, no matter what, I could end up getting blocked. So if I Major Minor and then William Reno Fences, then I have to spend both my actions on fencing and renovation. So I essentially burn an action. But if I Reno Stone Oven, William can fence, and then I'm blocked. I don't think William's in a position to block me. He wants to Reno fence. Well, especially with both Farm Boy, he already doesn't even want to Stone Oven. So, yeah, I think I'll do this. If William wants to spend an action just to block me, that's good for him. Yeah, he's taking wood. I thought so. All right, awesome. So only Mercator is getting Harvester points, which is excellent, considering Harvester for Mercator was 4 wood and 3 points, which is just a crazy good deal. Yeah, I tried to push my way in for it, but it was just too difficult. So here I obviously fence, make sure I can't get blocked any longer. My harvest is already paid between the reed and the clay, which is good. Yeah, William's farm is alright. He has a bunch of animals, and he has a good number of bonus points. But I don't know. We'll have to see. Both Goddess Girl and William get the... Actually, everybody except me gets Humble Farm Boy points, which is very sad. Yeah, I might not have this. I really don't know who has this. Oh wow, Estate Manager from Goddess Girl, allowing her. It's a 3-point action. I think she has everybody tied or beat. Here I just take an animal. How does Milking Shed work? It's possible taking a sheep there was wrong. Oh yeah, William has plenty of food, so it definitely didn't matter. Taking a sheep was fine. I think I beat 44, so it's whether all Mercator's bonuses will be beatable. Which, with all my improvement points, I have to imagine I did. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I'm out of actions. I forgot to place my peeps to the board, but honeymoon means I'm out of actions. So bake is a good action for Goddess Girl. I think it's oh, Goddess Girl could have gotten harvester points if she just took a vegetable or a grain. If she took a vegetable, she would have gotten harvester points. That's interesting, because then she could eat the vegetable as well. I think that was just a mistake from her. I guess the risk is I could have blocked it, but yeah. Yeah, I think that was probably better. I guess either way it's 3 points, so unless she has to eat animals, yeah, the only animal she has to eat is a free roll, so she's fine. So I get to prevent Goddess Girl from 1 point by helping her. Yeah, so it should be my score plus 4. So, oh wow, 48. Yeah, 48 plus 4 points, so 52. So that should be good enough. So 44, 42, 47, 52, so a very good game. Yeah, I mean, starting first and getting to take Reedstone food in all 4 of the first rounds when I'm already planning to play Wealthiest European and I have Goblet to make my well grades is just so powerful. The fact that Family Grow flipped early and I had a high point ceiling, it was nice. Yeah, just everything lined up for me perfectly. The fact that nobody wanted to take starting player was just incredible for me. And that's somehow how it goes. I had the interesting choice of taking Reedstone Food or building a room in round 5, and I think I really just showed my own preferences by taking Reedstone Food. So I prefer not gunning super hard for the first Family Grow because I find if it doesn't flip in 5, your disadvantage is greater than the disadvantage you get when it does flip in 5 and you aren't gunning for it super hard. So like this game, I only ended up growing in round 6 instead of round 5 by taking Reedstone Food. Whereas in a game where Family Grow flipped in round 6 or round 7, building a room in round 4 over taking Reedstone Food would have significantly hurt me, I think, because getting the Reedstone Food for homework was pretty important for my game. So I think Reedstone Food in general was a better move, even though in this game specifically, building a room would have been better. That was the only main decision point I had. I think all of my other decisions were pretty straightforward. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time.